The garlicky leaves only come up once a year and they're gone after a month, so you have to enjoy them while you can, make pesto and just eat them raw. This is the water that marks the border of our forest. And we have a beautiful walking path here with beautiful wildlife to spot from time to time. Sometimes people get lost here, like a child playing or a person on a bike or a horse, and they have no idea that we're hidden in this forest just behind the bushes. But we like that, those little surprises. I'm Cleo, and we're in a forest in Belgium, a forest of almost 60 years old, on recreational grounds with lots of fishing ponds that people once dug. Koen next to me landed here 10 years ago with some friends and started converting it to what they call a food forest, with adding more trees and edible shrubs and herbs to the place. I first came here 4 years ago. I was asked to work on integral ecology for the bishops of Belgium 2.5 years ago. That was a big task because the notion I was given was to just do something to make the concept of integral ecology as explained in the letter of Laudato by Pope Francis, do things to make that known amongst people in what is left of Catholic or believing Belgium. The little company that I work in is called Eco Kerk, Eco Church in English. It's a vehicle that I may use as I wish to reach parishes, but also, in theory, schools, elderly homes, different organizations and groups of people. And I organized campaigns in the season of creation. And I used my daily life as an inspiration in words, but also in images and stories for those campaigns. So, for instance, 2 years ago, we picked the theme of biodiversity, and we took a verse from the Bible that said, "Take care of everything that lives and breathes." And as an image on the campaign poster, we put a picture of our own little chick. We have lots of chickens and roosters from an old Belgian race that we bring up in this forest. It's a mixture of culture and nature, those birds. And it gave me the opportunity to speak from the heart and speak from lived experience whenever I visit parishes or groups with the concept of integral ecology, which might be a bit vague and not so concrete. I just start talking about how I got up this morning, how the weather was when I got in my boots, how the chickens were doing, if they were making noise in the night or not. And then we have a lively conversation about just concrete daily life, which is totally different than preaching or going to give information.
It's a place where we are in contact with nature and all the trees, plants and the animals. We know things we can eat, and gives us rest and peace in our minds and bodies. It's a good place to let the stress from society go. And I feel like the love for this place and all these creatures.
Like, we also don't mind when some of our harvest is lost on wildlife or on the birds, because this is also their forest and also their food. So when we would like to have cherries, but all the cherries have been taken already by some birds, we don't really mind, as long as they leave some fruit for us to pick. I mean, there's no economic pressure on us to collect. And they are also, like Koen says, they are also planting the new trees for the future. This is my most favorite spot. To me, this is what we would call holy ground. Well, all the forest is holy ground, really, but this particular spot next to the water, be here for half an hour each day. That would be enough to shift their nervous system towards a slower pace of moving, listening, looking around. That'd be good for everyone.
Up, 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 up.
He wags his tail like a dog too, you see? The feathers. He does that when he's happy. We noticed that we did get attached to this particular place and these particular grounds and creatures and animals in such a way that when people would offer us another forest to go and live in or to go and cultivate, we would not necessarily be glad to move because we got rooted in this particular soil ourselves, and stepped into relationships with the life that is already here and not in another place. So for us, the concept of stabilitas loci, like the old monks called it first, and to be on holy ground that you can call your home ground, is very much of a lived experience. With all of our senses, our bodily senses as well. All of your human senses can be spoken to by nature here, because when we are here, we are immersed in nature fully. Everything you see, taste, smell, hear, feel, almost all of it is not man-made, but coming from nature itself. And that is really regulating for our bodies and nervous systems, but also for our souls.
Yeah. And everything we do is also in respect for biodiversity. So when we do things, when we do something, we think about the consequences, what it gives for the other living around us.
Start emptying out your life and start making space, literally and figuratively, inside and out, by surrounding yourself with more silence. Could be natural silence outside in nature, or just if you're in a house, let there be silence. People can take parts of this experience that we live, but in small dosages, like going outside at least once a day, sitting next to a little piece of land or nature, and listen with your eyes closed to the sounds. But make a conscious effort or appointment with yourself to do that more often, to add that to your life. So it's a case of making space, like slowing down in any way you see fit for yourself that makes you feel good and peaceful. It could be painting or writing or having tea with a friend and talking, or just sitting quietly and looking around.